Big week this week, 10 years of Twitter, and celebrating all that you guys have done and the evolution as a marketing platform.
Yeah.
Give us an overview.
Yeah. So 10 years. So thank you. You didn't say happy birthday, but I'll say thank you anyway. It's a great milestone, but I like to think we're just getting started. When you think about the evolution of the platform, you think about the evolution of Twitter. 10 years ago, it launched mainly as a text-based platform. It launched mainly for SMS. And when you think about sort of the steps along the way from a marketing perspective, the first big evolution was shifting out of just text into this visual communication platform. That happened a few years ago. And now we're in this sort of big evolution, this big phase of the platform becoming alive, becoming filled with video. So for me, the big evolution, the big shift that's happening right now is this consumption across screens behavior that we're witnessing as video becomes just a much bigger vehicle for the platform. The more macro behavior that I'm absolutely obsessed with right now, and I thought Rob Candolino yesterday did a great job from Unilever talking about this, is more brand purpose-driven marketing. And as I think about Twitter as alive, as a public, as an influential platform that's connected to culture, to me, this is where Twitter really comes to life and can play a critical role in terms of helping brands achieve that purpose that they're looking to drive with the connection to consumers.
Yeah, you guys just had a report out with Starcom MediaVest, and tell us about some of the things you saw there.
Yeah, we did. We looked at the relationship between users and viewers that are emotionally engaged in television shows. So users that are tweeting about TV shows. We used a company, CANVS, Canvas, and they tracked sort of that emotionality of the users. So they're looking at a little bit of sentiment around how they're tweeting about TV shows, and not to much surprise at Twitter, because we've been studying this now for a few years, but the user that's on the platform, that's tweeting about the show that they're watching in front of them, has a much higher ad recall, 62% in some cases, of the ads that they're seeing on the television screen.
Awesome. So Dave, we've noticed video really becoming much more pervasive over the last several months. Tell us what's happening and the opportunities for brands and publishers for that matter.
Yeah, sure. So I'd say number one, we come into work every day and we're pretty surprised when we look at the numbers. They just continue to go up and to the right, which is good.
Numbers of what, Dave?
Numbers of video views.
Uh-huh.
So today we're looking at 220 times video consumption growth on the platform. Just a few months ago, if you would have asked me, that would have been about 150 times growth. So the numbers continue to go up and to the right, which is encouraging. For me, this comes down to a couple of different things. The first thing we thought about was, and we're talking about this a lot inside, but this idea of ads need to be seen, and they need to be seen by humans. So for us, number one was proving that ads are being served to humans. We've got a partnership now with one of the third parties that's measuring this, and the initial reports that come back show that, in fact, we are serving ads to humans. 99.7% of our ads are being served up to humans. That's even higher than the benchmark that's being set by these third-party companies. So that's good. Number two was setting a viewability standard, and we set that at 100%. So we wanted to make sure that not only were ads going to human beings, which is a good start, but ads were going to humans that were 100% in view. So that's sort of step number one, if you will. For me then, step number two is now what do we do with the creative? What do we do with the content? And we're asked all the time about ad length. We like to talk more about storytelling versus length. So how does a brand and how does an agency make an impact in that first 3, 4, 5 seconds to capture the attention of a user? The feed moves really fast. So it's critical and it's key that we make an impact early on by using product logos up front, by using personalities, humans and pets and celebrities that draw attention, that lift the ROIs. Because we know if somebody stays for 2, 3, 4 seconds, they go on to stay for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 seconds.
Could you explain to us the scope of opportunities for activating marketing messages around Twitter video?
Yeah, so there are two paths. There's the direct to consumer path, which is the in-feed promoted video as I'm scrolling down and there's a video from an advertiser. That advertiser is targeting the user really on two ends of the spectrum. One is just basic demographics, the way that we've always bought and sold video, right, on the big screen TV. So that's basic. And then over here, you've got the really unique kind of core to Twitter targeting characteristics, like targeting people that are searching for a specific thing, or tweeting about what I just ate for breakfast, or people that are talking about television, people that are talking about events. And we've got those two sort of ends of the spectrum in terms of how we deliver that video directly to the consumer. So there's the direct to consumer, and then over here you've got over 220 global Amplify partners that we've seamlessly integrated a pre-roll directly in front of that content. So you've got brands that are really doing both. They're acting as brands and going as their own distribution channel, but they're then amplifying what they're doing with the television partners, and they're bringing that content direct to the consumer as well. So yeah, pre-roll on Twitter is very, very much alive, as is just direct in-feed advertising. I'll talk a little bit about Periscope, which is sort of at the end of the spectrum, but as one of the sayings we have, and when we talk to agencies and we talk to marketers, is that there is an amazing life after 30. So I'm not talking about how old we are, I'm talking about 30 seconds. And in the old days, it was really life started and ended with the 30. Now you've got this incredible spectrum of creative formats that exist for marketers. So on one end of the spectrum, you've got things like GIFs, and you've got Vine, and you've got some of the immersive formats that are starting to develop around the ability to interact with both of those types of creatives, and they're short. They're 3 seconds, they're 4 seconds, they're 6 seconds. You have the 30, right? And you also have the ability to tell that extended story. So good content's gonna win. We see some of the best performing video on the platform is 3-4 minutes long, but it's got a theme, it's really good content. On the other end of the spectrum is Periscope, and I think that's just complete white space. We're talking about brands becoming live broadcasters, brands tapping into their assets that maybe they never thought about as assets before, brands that are in their stores like a Target, who's taking what used to just be a product launch in front of 20 people in the store, and they're broadcasting it to hundreds of thousands of people that can now watch that product launch at home. Same thing with autos. As autos are launching, you're seeing autos take Periscope and start to bring broadcasters from home or viewers from home into their live broadcast. So for me, Periscope becomes complete white space. There is not a commercial opportunity on Periscope today, but there is an opportunity to promote Periscopes in tweets on Twitter.